Alright, what's up guys, Ezra here. Today I'm bringing you a Cinema 4D tutorial. I believe this is my first tutorial and I'm going to be showing you how to make 3D text. Something sort of like this. It's not going to be exactly the same. So open up Cinema 4D and then go up to MoGraph and Text Object. Now go over to make sure the text object is selected and then type in what you want. And then click font, so I'll just change my font quick. It's not really that hard to do, and it's a pretty nice effect, to be honest, and it looks pretty nice. So let's just increase my spacing here. I'm going to go to about 10. There we go. Move that over just so it isn't all bunched up and you can distinguish each letter. Right, so now I'm going to change the depth. I'm going to go up to 100. Go up to whatever you feel is right, really, because something like 150, it doesn't look right to me. But it's all personal preference. I suppose 120 looks alright actually, but I'm going to stick with 100. Right, so once that's done, that could be kind of the finished product. Obviously it needs colour, but you could leave it at that, but I just think it looks a bit plain and unfinished. So you can add a fillet cap, which will just kind of bevel the edge slightly, but I don't really like that either. It's depending on what you're using the text for, really. So the effect I like to do is add a kind of bevel around the edge. So Control or Command C and then V. So we've duplicated the text object. Let's just stop doing that. And now if we go back to object and decrease the depth about 40% of the original size, it is something what I usually kind of stick to. That's my usual kind of rule. And then add a fillet cap to that, and then you can see it kind of gives it a nice kind of beveled looking effect. It kind of stands out as well. If we go back to my desktop, you can see it here. It just looks a bit better than just leaving it with a solid. So now we've done that, we need to add some color. So go to File and then New Material. And the longer you spend on this is the better it's going to look. So I'm going to just go for a black right now. Go to basic. I'm going to add an environment and a reflection real quick. More time you spend, the better it's going to look. I'm going to take this to about 50%. Environment, I'm just going to add a Fresnel. I'm not really going to mess around with this too much right now, but if I put that there now, you can kind of see it's a nice black, a matte black, but I'm going to use this kind of shinier one right now. Right, sorry about that guys, my mouse died. So right, I've got the black on there. Now I've got a white one I've already made as well, so I'm just going to drag that on there. And now that's pretty much done. If you're using if you're making it into an intro, let's get out of that, then a good way to add a background is to just add a floor. If my mouse stops failing, rotate that, and then if we push that backwards, okay, that's not going to work because it's rendering. But if you click on the kind of pre-render, you'll be able to see it. But I'm not using this for an intro. So I'm going to click on this. This is the render settings. Now the output I like to use is 2560 by 1600. It's the biggest one. I like to have it as big as I can because images always look better if you resize, if you lower the size rather than hire it from a smaller resolution, if that makes sense. So make sure it's on current frame, and then I don't really change anything else in here. Save. This is the format is pretty important, depending on what you're using it for again. So I'm just going to name it test. Now to save it as a transparent image with nothing on the background, just the text, you need to make it a PNG. I'm not sure if you'll have, you should have PNG on Windows, but I'm not sure what it will be labeled as because this is obviously Mac. And then make sure alpha channels ticked. Multipass, don't really mess with that. Anti-aliasing, I think that's how it's pronounced. But I like to have it 1 by 1 by 16 by 16. It's just the max settings, makes it look better rather than like 8 by 8 or something. Then go down to the bottom one or whatever, options, and then just add an ambient occlusion. I've already added one, so it's already there. And exit out of that, and then click render. So let's just render this. Alright, so I've got that done. It took a couple of minutes to render. Obviously, the bigger the resolution and all the effects and everything like that, the longer it's going to take to render. So I've got my text here. It's not the best looking text. Obviously, the longer you spend, the more it's going to, well, the better it's going to look. So I'm just going to lighten this up a little in Photoshop, so you can see the text there, and of course it is PNG, so it is just a transparent text. It's got no background, so you're kind of free to do whatever you want with that. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you want to see more tutorials like this with Cinema 4D, if you want any specific ones, making intros, text like this sort of thing, just leave a comment down below. Peace.